I'm on Eastern time, and it's going on midnight Eastern time, and I've been up since 4:30 Eastern time this morning, and flew out here all day long, so I'm getting tested pretty good. Center quarterback exchange. Now, let me say this before we get started, because we've been having this discussion out in the hall. I want to reiterate, I really believe in the things I just talked about, those of you that were in here. And I believe in fundamentals, don't get me wrong. I believe in techniques. And I want things done a certain way. But it's not what wins football games. When you get too caught up in it, I think still keeping it simple in how you teach and how many things you say. And I've got friends in the business, they win pretty good their way. But I'm going to tell you, people that sit there and talk too damn much, talk doesn't get it done. It's kind of like I was working out the other day, trying to work out. My workout buddy, we sitting there like two out of shape guys talking about all we're going to do and talking about what we wish we did. He said, you know what? He said, I'm glad my mother's not living here, man. He said, I can hear her say it, man, talk won't get it done. And his mother was right. So I really believe you can teach what you can teach and teach what they can understand. So you're going to find out I'm a very simple-minded guy, fundamental. And I like the word fundamental means simple, plain, basic. Center quarterback exchange. All right? Every day. Simply the same. Every day. Consistency. I'll tell you real quickly what we do. We put our middle finger and take the knuckle of our middle finger of every quarterback, and we put it right up their rear end, right on the butthole. All right? I teach them to have their hands not tight, but I don't want them like this. I want them spread in a position to receive the football. But get screwed when you get a left-hander. Ask you guys, but that hand under there and that butthole, to where now the break of my wrist is right to the edge of the center's tail. And that means I'm under. Everybody's under the same distance. You know how some centers say this quarterback ain't the same, he's further out. You tell them what you want, and you check them, you look at it, and what I do, I put my hand under there where I know it's supposed to be, and I say, just what he feels like, just what Jerry feels like. That center better be telling me the truth, and I make that center give me the ball. Our center snap, we tell our center to have, you got 1/3 of the ball, quarterback gets 2/3 of it. So he gets 1/3 of the ball, he's going to have his thumb on threads, and he's just going to make a pumping action. He's pumping the ball up. We're not turning our wrist, we're not rotating it sideways, we're just pumping it up where he can step and snap. And that's just step and snap. You just straight up. Now, what we're doing, try to maintain contact, is that natural ridge that's made right there. We don't interlock. I've talked to people that interlock and do it. We're there and we're trying to push up with our off hand, and we're just trying to fundamentally all take the snap the same way. Just close as it comes. Start to the side and close as the ball's there. Now closed on the football. I'm going to say this because I believe in it again. Discipline. Every day the same way. One fumbled snap in your career is one too many. And I see it, it is pitiful. In the NFL, in college, in high school, time after time after time you see fumble snaps occurring at the worst times in the game. Guys, there's a reason. And it takes work. Here's all we do. No lip service, consistent demands, and this is the drill we do. We call it down the line drill. Every practice at Tennessee started off the same way every time. And it didn't take long because they did serious business. We put our centers with our feet on the line, all in a row. This is the line, our centers have their feet on the line, and they're standing. The offensive line coach is over there coaching them. We always put a defender in front of them, whether we're in shorts or whether we're in pads, put a defender in front. We'll put the defender straight in front, we'll offset him either way. We get the quarterbacks behind them, and then they give them a play. And I'll stand over there and give them a play. You all know that you have certain plays in your offense where the center's having to block back, and the quarterback's having to reverse out. Something that causes a particular exchange problem. You know one of them occurs a lot? Quarterback sneak. How many people practice the quarterback sneak center exchange? Very much. Not very much. That's one of my checklist items. Because it happened to me one time. In a game we lost, 24-23, on the 6-yard line going in, we fumbled the snap on a center quarterback exchange on the quarterback sneak. So we call a play. I say quarterback sneak. That defensive lineman gets down low. Remember, we coach him too. Offensive center comes off. And we don't go a lot of reps. We may go 10 reps in this drill. They're going to be like a game. It's going to be quality. They know we mean business when it comes to quarterback center exchange. And that ball sounds just like that. One heartbeat. One sound. We don't want like that. Everybody's the same. Every center's the same. Every quarterback's the same. We rotate our quarterbacks, leave the centers in place. Quality, not quantity. Can't stress it enough. Alternate the cadence. Right. Another thing we'll do to get all the quarterbacks the same, generally what I'll do is I give them a play and I'm the left quarterback, one in the middle, one on the other end, maybe 4. But, right, and I've got play is 6, right? Play 6, right? He makes sure everybody says, right? And I got the cadence, right? And this quarterback, move! Say it up! And everybody goes on his cadence. Well, I do that because I want him to work on being loud. I want him to work on projecting. Cadence is important. I don't like a mealy-mouthed quarterback and a mealy-mouthed cadence. I want him to work on his cadence. Then, you got to get them all in unison, so you got the choir drill. So now what I do is I stand there and I say, okay, play is 7. All right, I say, okay, ready. 1, 2, 3. And as soon as I do that, it's 1, 2, 3. They all together. Move! Say it up! And you'll hear the differences, but they'll learn. Eventually, we'll all be the same. Every quarterback's the same. And I'm going to tell you what, you're lying if you haven't ever seen it. How many times have you seen quarterback get hurt, another quarterback goes in the games on TV, big-time players, old commentators who comment on it, the second-team quarterback gets in there and his cadence, either somebody jumps offside or you got an exchange problem, don't you? How many times, everybody seen that? You know, that drives me nuts. That's us. That's our profession. That's our fault. Coach it. Take the time to coach it. It's not a penny-ante thing. It's not a penny-ante thing. Give them a play. If you have audibles, change the play. Make the center go from mentally going to the right to mentally going to the left. If you watch it, it'll affect the snap. You make sure that center is stepping. We have a thing we try to teach the center to step before he snaps. He's got the one guy, he can't be all sides, can he? You want to gain advantage? Watch Nebraska center sometime. Step before he snaps. Now, I've got an edge on the defender, and that can be worked on. But you got to work on the center quarterback exchange. Step and snap. Step and snap. Not snap and step. Step and snap. Game speed. Stress the positive. Just what I just said. We're going to gain an advantage. We're going to gain advantage because of the step and snap. We're going to gain an advantage because every quarterback's the same. We're going to gain an advantage because every center's the same. I don't care who goes in, what, when, and where. The quarterback goes down. I'm not worried about it. We're not going to fumble the snap. We talk and talk and talk. We've had one in 5 years, and that's one too many. And knock on wood, or if that's probably not wood, whatever that is. Find some somewhere. That you get that talk and you believe in it and you stress it positively, but you do it every single day. Every single day. And how you take the ball, whatever you teach, whatever you believe in is what you should teach. And you should be able to get to where they can get that ball with one hand, do all those drills, make it kind of competitive. We used to do this after practice, you know. have a little game. How many snaps in a row can you get with one hand? Now, they like to beat each other, quarterback particularly. They like to beat each other with games. So make a game out of it, make it positive, but have some fun with it, whatever, but coach it. Coach the center quarterback exchange. Ball security first. Ball security first. We use the term seat the ball. People say belly the ball or whatever. We seat or belly the ball, whatever you want to call it, every snap, regardless of pass, run, or whatever we're doing. There's not any time that we don't take a snap, we're not there with the ball. We're not bellying the ball and just bringing it up naturally. Hands natural on the ball. I'm telling you guys, quarterback's got too many things to be thinking about, telling too much more. People say, I've heard them say, well, do you want points this way? I don't think they ever played the position that they're worried about. You got to worry about a lot of other things, about which way the point of the ball is. Seat the football. Get the ball under control. Have the ball secured to start the play. Have the ball secured. Define exchanges. See what I said in there? Keep it simple. Our quarterbacks have too many things to think about. Let me give you what we call ball in. Ball in. I've gotten the football seated. I'm stepping away. It's just that. The ball is here. It's seated. And I'll work that towards you guys. I'm coming back to exchange the football to that desk right there. I have the ball in. I'm going to have the ball in. I'm looking at my target. We're going to make a one-handed exchange. What I teach them is like dealing cards. You know how you just sit and deal cards. It's straight from the hip. You don't want to loop it. You don't want to sling it. They know everybody's dealt cards. They know what we mean by that. And I'm going to give the back 2/3, and I'm going to take 1/3. All right? So I'm coming straight from the hip. I'm seeing the pocket. I'm looking in. Separation. I don't know what order I've got everything in. I'm doing pretty good without looking at it. Separation. I don't want to get close to that back. As I come to make the exchange, I want separation between me and the back. I can't stand to see a back get crowded by a quarterback. We're trying to teach that back to be looking at his key. Every run we have has a key that he needs to see. We make that happen because we teach that back to not look for the football. He better look at his key. So we make that exchange with separation. On the one hand exchange, on this exchange, if they have to reach, they never hear me say anything. They have to kind of reach to make the exchange. I'm not talking about throw it at him. I'm talking about reach. Because I want separation between the back. Straight from the hip, straight out. Not swinging it this way, not swinging it this way. Straight there. It's simple. Hand it to it. Hand it to it. All right? Look it in. You can see their eyes. I stand during those drills where I can see their eyes, see the ball, see everything about what they're doing. I don't do a good job during those drills, probably sometimes watching their feet. I can only see certain things. Then the other part is the discipline, is the free hand. On ball in, you just look at the process. Ball's here. I'm coming back. The defense is not seeing anything with the ball tucked. Now, I'm coming here to get the football. My free hand is tucked because of the backside defender. He can't see the ball. And he can't see this, but I see too many people that the quarterbacks hand the ball along like this. Well, I know now he ain't got the football. So we got a tight free hand, ball in, in the cards. Either way it went. Same thing, left-handed, free hand to the right hand, ball's there. I'm just straight out, handing him the ball, looking at the exchange in, he's now taking the ball, then you do whatever you teach him from there. I'll get into that in a minute. All right, ball out. We use both of these exchanges, and they know what that term is. We're a little different. We take the snap, we will seat the ball. As I come back and see the ball, now we're going to come out with the ball. And you've seen a lot of these people, I think UCLA probably, with Homer, that's his change. they come out and really extend and really almost look real funny. Sometimes they can carry it below and do their exchange. Well, the way we teach it, seat the ball, and I step wherever I step, get myself started, and then the ball comes out. All right, now I'm going to do it back in just a minute. All right, the ball's here. I'm coming back to the runner again. In what order I got? Okay, ball level, and you just see, I don't like, come on, get down here. I just want above the waist level. Separation again. Now, as I'm getting ready to hand that ball off, here's what's going to occur. I've got the ball out to begin with. I'm going to have a crisp separation of the hand. Okay? So it's going to look like that. Okay? Now the ball's left. Now I'm in the same position as I was in before. Got carryover. All right? Same things. Crisp hands, free hand. Okay? Crisp hand, free hand. Now, as I hand the ball off, talk about this and that, you got to tell them something. Okay? I'm coming here, back, and I'm handing the ball off. The ball's gone. Now, what I do after the ball's gone, when you hand the ball off, your hand will swing. You watch it. You hand the ball off, that hand will swing. It just kind of goes naturally. The momentum of the back, it'll swing. Bring your hand back, just like you're grasping a football. And whatever I'm told them, there may be a setup. When we turn, we set up in the throwing position. And I mean, take the time to do it. If we fool one guy, for one instant, we've helped the play. Or if you're going to fake on the run, you hand the ball off and you've got to run it. Don't just say fake and catch fake. I'm going to do this year. I wasn't pleased with my coaching. I've already critiqued it. We're going to go, I used to say 5 hard steps. We're going to go now, we're going to have to cross the line of scrimmage. And we're going to go on fake, we're on the move. They're going to have to run until they cross the line of scrimmage. If they don't, that's a minus in effort. And if it's minus in effort, they're going to pay me for it. And I can't tell you, for me, that's coach's effort. That's me willing to take the time and effort to coach it and stick with my guns. And they'll do it. Boy, they look good when they're doing that. And people start complimenting you on the faking. That's when I really get excited. I get more excited about that than I do anything else. Now, talk about carry out the fake. Make sure whatever you're teaching, that they're both the same. That the fake and the exchange is the same. That your best play action, run action passes are going to look just like your best runs. So mechanically, the quarterback should be the same. Make sure they're doing the same thing, the same way. And I don't know what's the next one. I hate to get ahead of myself. Worst in the world. Good. I'm going to tell them to get into this. Okay. Let's get into the quarterback now.
Coach,
Yes.
I'm still like the ball out. What you mentioned out in the hall.
Why?
What's the?
Because that defense seeing the ball just bugs them. And we've handed it off and handed it off. And that linebacker seeing the ball, they just suck onto it. So on all our eye plays, our sprint draw plays, if we have time to take the ball and really come back off the line, I like to show the ball. On our zone plays and things where we're roll dives and hit, we see the ball and come and we end up having to reach and hand it off. That's why we use both. Yes.
Yeah, when you used to teach the bone or run it, did you still use crisp hand on the two hand and then just
There, and then when you hand the ball off,
just press and slide?
You let through the thing, but you're actually reaching.
Right.
That's a whole different thing. But that, and we do that on our midline. I teach it just like we did the bone. We drop our knees and get the ball high.
Okay.
And that gets you a ride. That's just an old wishbone teaching.
Right.
And that's just there, drop it, and ride, and then we hand the ball off. And we come with it. We do use that exchange.
Does it make a difference which hand do you hand the ball off with?
If lead hand, in other words, I'm going this direction, hand the ball off, be my right hand, the hand is going to fly. Same thing on the two-hand exchange. That's the last hand it's going to be. But that's actually still the hand, even though it's two-handed. On wishbone days, you put that ball in there, and you had to either pull it or leave it about right there.
Because when we run the bones, what we have our kids do again is press with this one and just slide that.
Slide
I was
it
wondering
over.
about the trick.
Yeah, and we used to have to come off when we felt it.
Yeah.
We could.
What technique do you teach your back handoff?
On the exchange, okay, I've got the back coming up here next, but I'll go ahead and get in on the back on the exchange part. On the exchange, what we teach is we put that thumb straight down the breastplate, okay, near elbow, up. That's the ball side. And we put that up, and we just take the hand and go under. And we try to initially teach them to really lay their hand open. Okay, and that, by putting the thumb, pressing the thumb down, that flips the elbow up. We want to talk about too, like again, you give them too many things to think about, we just tell them flip. If they flip their hand open, if they'll really do that, that'll throw the elbow up. And we still have some do this. You grab for it, you have to coach it and work it. We don't know how to do that. Pro football, some teams do. I still think this is the sounder exchange. You make a nice big pocket. You can flip that up, and we put the ball in. And if we put the ball in, what happens to a lot of kids, and we don't complain, a lot of kids naturally want to carry the ball in one arm or the other, and for some reason, backs, I don't know where they are, a bunch of them won't carry it left hand. It's a real funny phenomenon. You come over here, and you get it to the bottom side, to me, the natural thing is to want to take it there. For some reason, a lot of kids we're getting, they just do that. You know what I think it comes from? I think it comes from when you're doing drills, too many people run their offenses to the right. They've taken so many handoffs this way for so long that they do it and carry it so much there. And that's actually wrong going that way. Think about it. You'd like them to do what? But we don't ever coach that beyond. Get in the open field, we'll change one and get it into the proper arm. And we're running inside, as long as it's protected, we don't care. Yes, sir.
Now, you teach your fakes the same, in and out's the same, whether you're actually exchanging your fake, and you fake with the
I'm
ball.
gonna go through the fakes in just a minute. That's where I was headed when we got into those other questions. Anything about the backs, anything else? No. Now, so the play fake. The play fake, and again, it's both of them. Ball in as I come back. I don't know if I can get that one written down there. I thought I had a whole slide on there. I guess I don't. But the play fake and making them both the same. Let's say we're faking zone play. We take the ball, we ball in. Now we're coming out, we're ball in. I'm coming to the mesh point. I've got the ball in. I get to the mesh point, I come out with that hand. Now I've got the ball feathered. I get to the mesh point, the hand goes through, and it flips just like you handed it off, and then you're coming up and throw it. Now, this is why when you ask me about ball out, I want you to come here and take it back, and you guys see the difference. Let me just kind of stand back there, all set, just come straight down this way. Ball in, get through there. That's a decent little mesh, okay? Now watch the ball out. Just watch the difference. They actually see that ball, there in that dug, and you see what I just did right into the mesh? A lot of people don't like it because it's a little dangerous. Let's do it one more time. See, I'm going to stop, so I'm going to, I got the ball there. So, now, about right here to the hips, about as far as I want to go. At that point right there, I just came on. That's a heck of a mesh, guy. And now I'm hitting that ball. And one of the habits you get is to get it back on the hip. I don't like that because that backside rusher can see that off the backside. He can't see it. Belly tight, and it come up. Now, I want to cover this because certain grip problems with certain quarterbacks. There, I have guys that cannot go to the left hand with the ball, make the fake, and grab it back. So what I allow them to do is start with the ball out, bring them both back in, and come up with it for that reason. Because once they get the snap, and they what I call milk their grip, we all do it, you work in your grip. As soon as you get a snap, you start to get your grip going. So they don't want to give that up. And the one I got next year is like that. It bothers me because it makes it look like we're not coaching fakes, but he can't do it. It's just too hard for him. So I think what's important, that same thing, if I can do it, and I just taught, on the fake, and I just did the same thing on the pass, and they look identical, and we'll have some film. Some of these I think I can find on that one tape. I hadn't been in town enough to get all my tape like I wanted. I'll have to apologize. This machine is going to be kind of difficult too. Any questions on mechanics?
After he carries out his fake, will you move his eyes?
Well, depending upon the play. I mean, if we're sitting patrolling, you mean?
Well, I noticed like at high school level, we had quarterbacks who will never watch the back on a running play, on a play action, they like to watch the back and leave the hole.
Sitting there, do this, and then do that, and you don't want to do that. I mean, you got to depend upon the play. I mean, you better be pretty busy. You're right here, and once that fake come off that thing, you better find your coverage key or your pass key. And, we just have certain defenders depending upon the play. So we have to evaluate. And I think you can drill that. I think you have to drill it. One of the things as far as coaching quarterbacks is you make a decision whether you're coaching from this side or coaching from here. And what my rule of thumb is to help you is if you're doing individual drills, techniques and fundamentals, always coaching where you can see his face. When you get into group and team thing where you're working against a defense, then it's critical you coach him behind because you want to see what he's hopefully seeing or should have seen. That's all you can coach him on the field. So that's a good general rule of thumb to use in coaching your quarterback. And just remember those aids. And another aid in coaching your quarterback is when you can. It's just like me trying to see you, and I'm too close to you. It becomes difficult to see everything you're doing. We all have better vision when we back off. I think this is a good rule of thumb for coaches, period. I see a lot of young coaches. I see even young coaches. When the guys, they look like they're sweating and going at it real good, and you're right on top of the guy. But there's no way to see body angle and his feet. You ever stood back and watched somebody else's drill sometimes? How much more you see? Stand away sometimes. Your vision as a coach becomes better. I don't think there's anything else about play fakes itself. I don't know. Run action. I used to not think this stuff made a difference, but like for example, on plays where we're having to go and use one-handed and really reach, well, we'll show that ball there too. We'll come out and show that ball and then do the fakes where we come down and punch over the ball and then pop up and throw. Having one or two or three of those special fakes, we've got one where we put the ball behind their back, we follow through with the back, put the ball behind their back, and then come back with it. Those type things I think are worth it. Whatever fits your scheme. The more I ran it, the more I see it. I don't think I had that. I probably should have brought some game tape. We had some where DBs just bit unbelievably on play fake. When you get the defensive back to bite, then you really bit. Those are usually touchdowns. Okay. Still talking about fakes. I think it's really important to talk about the running backs if you're coaching the quarterback. Coaching the same thing. The running backs. Don't just tell them we're thinking this play on this. Coach them. All right? Example, the fullback in the I formation. Doing the same thing on the pass as he does on the run. If on the run, he's supposed to be going and getting that in, and he's supposed to be on the run, he's going out there and coming to him, then that's what you want him to look like on the play action pass. What you'll see is a guy that maybe he has the end on the pass, he's going to come out and he's going to look like pass. He's popping up. He's showing you the pass. People are smart enough. We got to give those defensive guys some credit. I hate to. But you got to give the coaches some credit on defense. They'll read those things. We found out this year, on most of our sprint draw schemes, we isolate our fullback on the linebacker. So when our fullback in our sprint draw early in the year was coming off, it looked entirely different. His run action was, and then going. So when we changed his pass action to that, he came out of the stance, slid over. Goodness gracious, those linebackers sucked up. It had nothing to do with the fake. It was all the blocking back. So coach the blocking back. Coach the lineman. Like I said, run action means run action. I put a note in there that says, don't underestimate this. Don't underestimate it. Okay, let's talk about faking toward the line of scrimmage if I'm a back. Don't just say fake. I want you to take the 6 play. You know, that's it. Tell them what we want. We define it as faking toward the line of scrimmage and faking away or parallel. And faking toward the line of scrimmage, he's going to make the same pocket. He's going to accelerate forward the same way. As he comes through the mesh point and fake, he's going to bring both hands to the belly and come over the quarterback's hand as it was there. He's going to wrap both hands on the belly, and he's going to accelerate, and he's going to run with 2 hands on his belly through the line of scrimmage. Even if he has a pass route, that chair is the line of scrimmage. He's through the line of scrimmage and then comes out into a running motion. It's not enough. And I mean, I've showed you the natural process. I can show you the rhythm, not what they'll do. Just natural. They run into a route because we give those tailbacks routes. And you have to work at it. We're certainly not perfect. We grade them down all the time. Staying through that thing makes a difference, guys. Don't underestimate it. 2 hands wrapped on stomach, hands stay clamped through the line of scrimmage. Faking parallel to the line of scrimmage. We're not really big at this, but we define it for them. You guys in defense, as I step, come to the mesh point, I make my pocket. As I come through that thing, I'm going to drop my near shoulder, swing back like I've got the football, and this arm, and we run 5 yards, and take it on in that same motion. So it's right through the thing, right through the mesh, dip it, and go like I've got the ball tucked, and accelerate off of it. And that's a little, we do some goal line stuff that way. They come through that thing, boy, it makes a difference when they do a good job of it. We don't have much upfield, but we work at this. Tuck the forearm and accelerate 5 yards after mesh. Great effort and great technique on every fake. If they know you mean business and they know you're grading, they know you're going to talk about it and do it, and then I promise you, you'll get better at it and better at it, and you'll see those things where your cameraman gets lost at the drill. He struggles with it, or TV people. And I can get Mike Godfrey from ESPN talking about, boy, your fakes look good. Because he did, as a head coach, I'll always commend the job, his staff. You know, and I told him one time, and he made me realize that's an effort thing on my part. We can be as good as we want to be. You know what I do? I still am guilty of it. I get caught up in all these things steps that I'm thinking about. Just like I tell you that, we were that quarterback already, a million things to think about. And if you're not careful, you forget it. To make this simple, but don't ever forget it. You know, ball handling, faking, exchanges, all of those things are critical. All of those things are critical. And that's real simple. That's my ball handling talk to the quarterbacks. That's what we teach. Any questions about any of this yet in particular? Anybody have anything else? Okay?
You grade every practice?
We don't grade every drill in every practice. We grade something in every practice. We film everything we do. I ain't got time at halftime to look at all that. Our head coach likes to film everything we do. Certain things we go against the defense or things like that, we don't grade every drill. They all get some of the drills we use. Obviously, individual time is limited that we all have in coaching. But I take the quarterbacks, and guys, that's an awful little thing to do. If you take it just the only time you're going to tell them that you're working on these exchanges is when you're going silence with the backs or whatever. Individually coach all of them. Take the time to coach seating of the ball. We do individual drills without centers. We do all of our mechanics with the ball with each other. The quarterback has to be the back. And they rotate through there where they understand what the back's doing. I know they know now because they just had to do it. And they're having to do their own mechanics. So the quarterback, I know, knows what I expect and understands it when I see him executing from both ends. And I drill it individually. We have our backs do it individually, hand the ball off to each other, you know, the old chain drills, you want to do it that way. But they learn how to hand the ball off as well as take an exchange. They work on their fakes in an individual drill where the coach did their hand fakes it to them. We work on the fakes in the individual drills with the quarterbacks. Then we go to what we call time and assignment. P&A. Can you cuss on that thing? No?
All the time they do.
I thought for a long time when I'd never call it P&A. We call it play polish or whatever. I don't know. Anybody else call it P&A? Anybody ever heard of that? No? Well, this one coach we had, huh? Did you call it P&A?
Not in this one, no.
This one coach we had, I didn't even know what he was talking about. He always called it tits and ass. P&A. I didn't know what they were doing for a long time when I first came. We were talking about, we were going through all our drills, and he said, we got to do tits and ass. Tits and ass. Steve Ness. All right. Anyway, y'all edit those things, don't you? When we do T&A, okay? We got the old hose, you know, marked off with splits and such. We got cones. And as we take it, they were running, play. Before what I've done, I've got a cone, quarterback, handed it off. If you had it set up, he set up. If we were handing something off where he ran, I gave him a landmark to run, say to the cone or whatever. Now, like I told you, I'm going to make him go through the line of scrimmage. I'm tired of it. What we did this for is, we had a guy making this back. He flashed that thing that way. About the exchange, that back had to make a cut. Now that back is not looking at the ball, he's looking at this key. excuse me, coach here, and a coach there. Seeing angle, eyes, aiming points, all of it, and coach it hard. I mean, I know y'all think I'm full with this. These are the winning edges, guys. I may be a hard ass about this, but if you're not coaching it, and I've seen the drill and I've seen it done too much, guys are sitting there half-assed running. Like I tell my son, I tell him Cutcliffe don't half-ass anything. He's 7 years old. By God, he knows what that means. If he does something, if he's going to do something, tells me he's going to do something, he's going to do it right. He's going to try to do it right. He's not going to half-ass anything. And you can't half-ass coach this game. You got to coach this game like it was meant to be coached, or get the hell out of the business. You got to get wound up, just like I do with our staff. That's just the way it is, guys. So take it and take to heart what I'm telling you. Coach it. And if you coach it, you reap benefits. It's like those players, don't half-ass play it. But if I'm going to half-ass coach it, how do I expect them to play it like it's supposed to be played? But coach the drill, and have that coach coaching, and this coach coaching. If everybody's coaching, you're getting better. And take that little simple drill right there, and by cracky, you can get good at what you're doing in exchange. You can get good at what you're doing on fakes. And we take that drill, not just run. We'll take this, we'll make fakes, carry out, run our routes, and get throws out. I mean, I love that drill. And we do all of our stuff, and this is all scripted, and taking time, and running back coach. He runs the drill, let him do it, but he's got it on paper. He's done it during the day, prepared himself. Doesn't take him 5 to 10 minutes. But he's got the things we need to work on, the things his guys need to do, and he's paid attention to it, and that's his drill, and I want him to have the tempo of it and get it going, and I'm going to just sit over there and hopefully just coach the quarterbacks and get things going like it should go from that standpoint, from the speed of that drill. But you can make that play polish drill something better than what a lot of people just make it. And then they have to finish through that cone down there, and they're busting their tail with that football to get past that cone. Then they just stay at this end, and we just turn the drill around and coming back this way. So we go 3 groups, boom, boom, boom. Then we turn around, we're coming back, boom, boom, boom. Coming right back the other way, we'll get a bunch of repetitions in 10 minutes. I mean a bunch. And when they get through that drill, you gotta be smart. The next drill coming, they're gonna little running backs need something for a slower tempo. Because their tongue's dragging around. And don't think that quarterback's tongue's not dragging the ground. You know who hates perfect plays worse than anybody? Quarterback. So during perfect plays, even on the ones he has to set up on, I make him set up, and then he has to sprint. But he's running backwards 7 yards, and he has to turn sprint 17 yards, and then jog all the way back around. They hate me when it gets time for perfect play. I think they hate me a lot of the time anyway. But that's all right. That's all right. But then you take your thing and you carry it to teamwork. And guys, this is an area that if you're not careful, bad habits creep in. I've sat there and taken that drill, and boy, we coach being sharp, doing this. Now, because it's not second nature to the guy, I got the quarterback something else to think about. It's 11 on 11. Now he's thinking about something else, and just like what you said, he's got his eyes somewhere else or doing something else, a different agenda, and I'm standing back there saying, hey, that defensive guy wasn't supposed to be lined up there, or something else, and we're not coaching. We're not coaching. You got to carry it to teamwork. You got to coach him. That's what I'm talking about, consistency. That's what ball handling is. That's what discipline is. That's what having a good offensive football team is consistency. And it can't be lazy. You've got to coach every minute you're on that field. That's why I can't go out there for about 2 hours. At the end of 2 hours, I am soaking wet. I mean, I'm about mentally busted. I can't take hardly any more than about 2 hours of it because I'm not capable of concentrating for more than 2 hours like it takes to coach it. And that's what you've got to push yourself to do. I used that example already pretty good. Just an example. Here's our base way of running the sprint draw. We're running the football. Can you see that? And all? We're going to combo this thing off. I try to draw it where you can see it, we don't get too scribbly. And that's our base way of running that look. So we're gonna run the sprint draw that way. So, oops, wrong piece of paper. So there's an example of the sprint draw pass, and everything looking the same, him setting off the same way, and I'm gonna tell you, those linebackers will get disrupted. They will get into that. Time to go.
Lights going.
I saw the signal. But now, here's what I want to do. I've talked about all this, now I'm going to give you something, give you some examples. I'm going to give you a couple of play examples, and go through everything everybody does, and answer any questions you got. We got time though.
Yeah.
Play action passes. Now we get into progression. I'll go up and tight end. You guys probably do a lot of it with that. What front do you see most of the time? Anybody got any even fronts? Split? Some type of 8-man front? A backer here and a backer here, and a rover type guy there and a rover type guy there. Is that good enough?
Yeah.
Okay? So we're going to run some sprint draw. Our sprint draw we're going to run, I'm not going to, he's going to put him on him, and we can either block down right around, or we can put him on him and him, linebacker there, and those three there, right? So now let's just design our pass. This is one of the best passes we have. All right? So those three have those three. All right? That guy right there you can't really account for. Although what you coach your center to do in this protection is your center is looking at linebacker, sitting backside. A lot of people won't bring both. And the reason, and you study this going in, a lot of people won't bring both. Some people will, and we see them to do. But a lot of them won't because they're afraid they don't have somebody to cover anybody out to that side. So if you got a team that won't bring both, then you sit there and you don't have to worry about it. You coach that center to take both. One comes, don't worry about the other one. Or you react to it with the receiver. We'll get into some of that later on. But right now, these two have these two, and there's my fullback assigned to him. Okay? You can, if you want to, assign your fullback out here going forward and put your tailback in the scheme. That's tailback block first back right there if you want to get 4 blocks strong side to the back. We come back and remember everything looks the same. Alright? So we've taken the time to have a sound, solid protection. We've got potential blitz control of 4 over here, a potential blitz control of 4 weak side, right? Now again, if you think a team brings both of them, and number one, I wouldn't call it a situation that I thought they might be pressured. Okay? Hopefully it's in a rundown situation. But if you do, then you got to have some kind of reaction. You know, a hot reaction or something out there to the receiver built in. Which you can do on play action pass. Quarterback can feel that, sense that. And then when we tell him, he senses that, he looks and peeks. He doesn't worry about the play action. He just stops and makes that throw. Okay, let's go back to playing this zone defense. Now, here's what we're trying to get accomplished. We're going to try to go to a 3-level route. Okay? It's going to be a 3-level route. Flood principle, 3-level route, vertical stretch. Okay? 3-level route. First thing we've got, the first primary is a takeoff. Quarterback comes back. You said, what do we do with the eyes? Okay? On this play, first thing he does is he comes out of that fake. His eyes are right down to this corner. okay? We do this off 5 steps. Some people do a lot of, I wouldn't change it because we do 5. We're just that way. Most people do 7, but we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Guys down there, now evaluate that takeoff. We can't throw it to our receivers if we go 7, guys. They're gone. We run a takeoff, and I mean, I'll get into the technique of running a takeoff too. It's I can talk forever. We go write that one down and come back to it. I don't want to make sure I don't miss it. Because I think that's a part. Nine. All right. I evaluate the takeoff. If we're even, we're leaving, so to speak. Okay? If I've run the corner down, play action pass will do that all. Corner has not turned his hips, has stayed in his back toe, or whatever technique they're teaching, whatever you got to tell your quarterback about that opponent. Make a decision when to launch the ball. This gives you a takeoff throw. Okay, that's what I like about this play. This is a takeoff throw, an over-the-top throw. It's not run action. It's not taking a shot. You better throw it when it's there. I've told you when to throw it. Don't throw it when it's not there, okay? So I've defined to him. I have defined to him this team is a back pedal team. If you come out of that fake and that guy's still in the back pedal, we're going to throw the takeoff. Because our receivers have run it down, I promise you that. Unless they fall down. But if I come back and I seen the guy flip his hips, and now he's creating, trying to maintain his cushion, well, what have I done to that corner? I've deepened him, right? So the corner is gone. He's hit. Okay? Now, tight end takes the best release possible. Got to get off. This backer should be effective, guys. If he is effective, you end up having to go over the top of that linebacker. More than likely, you can stay on top of both of them. That's when the route's better. What you're trying to do is to get depth and get to the middle of the field, regardless of where the ball is. But let's just say the ball's on the hash. When I tell them I'm trying to get over the ball. Once I get over the ball. I hate these things. When I get over the ball, I'm going to start trying to push up to a depth of 12 yards. Okay? Middle of the field, over the ball, start angling up. And at 12, I'm angling to 30 yards down the field. What I mean by that, and I can draw it here. Easier than there when y'all can all see it. There's the sideline, there's the line of scrimmage. That's 30 yards down the field. If that tight end were to keep running at the angle he's running, he would run out of bounds 30 yards down the field. That's the route. Don't kind of complicate it any more than that right there. Okay? So now, this tailback is fake through here. He has got to find a release. Sometimes it's behind the line. And he is going to get hard and quick to the weak side flat. See the 3 levels happening now? Take off, the intermediate, and the underneath. So now, I've dropped my eyes to that rover. So I need to redraw. I got a lot of lines, don't I? Y'all okay? You following me? I'm dropping my eyes to the rover. Now, based on that rover, if that rover has sunk, he can take this throw away, because this throw's occurring in the third of the field over here that nobody else can defend it. All right? If that rover's not taking away that throw, I'm laying the ball over there. I can pull it. I can do whatever I want, but I've come off that takeoff. I've come off down and found that rover right here. Ball. As they get better, they throw this thing sooner and sooner and sooner and sooner. Okay, you'll see some on film. We gave our wide receiver more freedom to be a little flatter at times. Because he was a 5th-year senior and he has to come further. You'll see it on film. But he had to get over it. You understand what I'm saying? And create the 3-level route and seams in the defense. Now, this is kind of clinic talk.
What's your running back desired depth?
6. This is kind of clinic talk, but it happens. We take shots at it. But as the back clears over and this guy clears over, the takeoff, done that safety will vacate the middle of the field. And we got a post coming in behind that thing. So if he feels, the quarterback just feels everything collapse on this, all these lines I got in there, if you start looking like that to him, then you come back and take a shot at the post. I did that for that reason. I look a little crowded to throw in there. But that can all happen. God, what a play. This is, I'm telling you, we do it a lot of different ways. We've done it for a lot of years. UCLA can sit right in here. They know we're going to do it. They're going to see it on film. Ain't nothing I'm telling them any different. If they don't know when it's coming and when it does, what are they going to do about it? Okay? Too deep. I'm not going to leave you hanging. Too deep. Really, guys, these are zone routes because I'm not expecting man-to-man or man-under. These are down and distant associated to zone rundown situations, okay? So I'm not, people say, what do you do versus man-under? Well, I don't run it versus man-under. You know, we're not running in that situation. Get some of them hard-headed Tennessee guys, they always ask me that all the time. Wide receivers. Now, 2D, here's your deep defender. Here's your flat defender. Okay? What we're trying to do here, a little tougher evaluation. Sometimes we've had guys that are good at it. Sometimes I've drawn blocking. You want me to block another front or not? Huh? Okay. They'll probably all have this type of protection. Just run these type plays anyway. Now, got to get a release. Item 2. Get in details about it. General Nealon getting upset at me. All these passes. Hadn't talked about any defense in here. That's what we say when the lights flicker or something over in our office, you know. Y'all heard General Nealon, famous Tennessee coach. He was all defense, final third down. I don't believe I could work for him. All right. We try to get, just to get it real simple, we get a landmark for about a yard outside of the line. Then we take the best release off that, and we are getting down that field. We don't choke hole throw. This is not a hole throw anyway. This is a takeoff. Okay? It's a takeoff. And I am trying to get down that field no closer than 5 yards to the sideline. Okay? Need a margin of error for the quarterback. Okay? No closer than 5 yards. That's enough stretch. If we're playing a real good team, then we'll change that to 3. Got to be better ourselves. This guy, I don't see very many of them. 5 and 2 yards make that much difference. Now I'm having to see if he's pedaling like crazy for depth. How is he playing at 2D? How is he playing at 2D? It's amazing people won't do it. It's amazing how many takeoffs you can throw. When you see a 2D guy doesn't break at these kind of levels, when a 2D guy has to break at an angle like that, when a 2D guy, you get what I'm saying, receiver down here, and he turns to go like this to a takeoff, he won't make a play on the ball. He better have enough depth that he can see that thing. He's breaking this way on the football. When he has to turn and take that kind of angle, then he has no chance. Try to catch a ball like that sometimes. Put one of your defensive guys in the drill, see him catch a ball. They won't get it. They'll get, that's a dizziness. Now I'm telling you, just take a guy on the field and you tell him to start running at that angle to go catch a ball. You can't do it. So we base it on depth. And again, it's on the ability and how much you're getting out of there. But if they're getting out of there, all right, we've eliminated the player because look where we're coming. See that? this thing's liable to get thrown in there. Okay? We still got a flat fender and it may get thrown over here. And if this flat fender is sinking and harassing out at release, or he can't get off good, and safety's not really as much of a factor, see, this is where 2D's a little different. You know, this corner can affect how much. But when that flat fender's gone, I'm telling you, good for play action fakes. Our defense tries to play it. Our defense tries to play this route, sinking the corner, playing him in there where he can try to play both, and trying to play this with him. So when we go past Skeleton, what do you think happens? We call this route. Well, what's that Will linebacker playing in past Skeleton? He's playing pass. He sits there and we make it play. He's already turning waiting on him, you know. We go in a scrimmage with him. That Will linebacker's about 3 steps up in the line of scrimmage, and that back's gone by, and the linebacker coach is over, what the hell are you doing? He's like screaming and hollering. That kid ain't got a prayer. He can't play the run and get back against a fast back running back behind him and cross him and cover that guy out there. So you get the same 3-level route. This is not as an effective a thing because they can kind of match you up through here, but it doesn't matter because this really is almost easier versus 2D to create some seams.
So you have the slot sitting home at all?
You know what?
If the safety's dropping over the top?
This guy choking,
Yeah,
like I told you,
kind of throttle out.
flattens,
Yeah.
and we throw it. We don't ask him to throttle. This fifth-year senior did something, quarterback can stop it. We don't ask many receivers, with the exception of a few routes, to choke themselves. We ask them to stay running because most of our stuff is stretch. You start telling the guy, here I go release past a corner, and then you tell the guy, he's trying to start choking in the hole. Well, what he's done is made it easier for that corner to sink, and you get interceptions. What we try to do is sprint past the guy, and now if the quarterback wants to stop him, we stop him with the throw. And we've got separation. That's just our philosophy on that. But that is a really, really, really fine play action pass for us. It has answers, it has completions. When we're real good and we've got a quarterback and a bunch of linemen that are real good, we may even have a leak out with a fullback off that. Is a layoff. But that, right now, we haven't done that in 3 years, 2 years, excuse me, because we haven't needed it. Now, let me give you an example of a run action. Only thing about a run action that we want, and that's the reason I drew it out of this formation, you can draw it out of any number you want. You need to have, basically, if you don't want to give this guy a blocking assignment, okay, you need to have 3 on one side and 3 on the other, in the center to count for people off the edge, trying to do the best you can on the run. Let's just say that we get even run again. If we were going to run the football over here with this run, however he got to it, he's going to go to it, center going to step on. We'd step on, and we would just, if we thought there was a guy here, this other rover up there coming, we would teach a guy to bail out right there. Center stepping on and then looking, he's going to make contact, and they're coming off the football, guys. What we try to make it, you ever seen this term? Visual noise. We want it to sound like a run, therefore look like a run. We want it to sound like a run. We're going to overemphasize the fake, step back to the quarterback. He's going to carry out a run fake as his only assignment. Hope he gets tackled. Now, we may have post here, crossing right there, or we may have the crossing right there, and the post there. And all we're gonna do, guys, is isolate the safety. And the fake is gonna be so strong that there is nothing underneath to stop the crossing route. If that safety's out of there, you throw the cross. If the safety's hung at all, you're running a post off the corner. And, go ahead and just teach. Yes.
Why'd you, zone block that and man block, sprint throw, or sprint throw?
This is, we're blocking the run. This is the run
Yeah,
action.
there's no play action.
Play action before a protection. This is block the run call.
Okay.
Just take a run in your offense, and whoever you got to run, that's who you got.
Okay.
Okay? Now, it's really important, this aspect, when you're running a post, okay, to me, you're reading this one. Route running has to defeat this one. So you're trying to run him down. We run our post sticks at 12 yards. And we're going to give the quarterback an indicator. That's what the little line's trying to indicate. He's the corner. I'm going to run him down and give an indicator and stick right there. I like him to throw the football where we can go get the football. Okay? So the safety is bit. We've run at this corner and stuck him, whatever angle it takes. Now I'm starting to pass the corner, and as a quarterback, when this safety has bit, the ball to throw, if I'm worried about the corner, is to lead him whatever field I need to go get the football. So we don't give him, we give him an angle just to come at the post, to the left, and what you call 45 degrees, and then we let him take, quarterback take him wherever he wants to go with air. We don't ever stick it on a post unless we say stick it, that kind of play. This is an over-the-top, deep ball post. And I think it's really important to have to teach that technique to defeat the corner, because safety, if he's biting the crossing route, then you don't have to worry about the safety, you got to defeat the corner. And that's how we go about it. Quarterback may throw the ball over here. He may go get the ball. We got a completion. We run takeoffs off this run action, where we just, it affects corners, guys, believe me. I mean, they just get flat-footed. It affects corners. Let me give you a little bit of that takeoff. We're in that kind of mode. Ball's in there. Corner's playing inside technique. There's man-to-man. Okay? What we tell him to do is to run at his technique. Okay? To run at his technique. Why do we teach him to run at his technique? Number one, if we got a corner right here. You just see it. I'll just use it as a landmark. If the corner's inside right here, the shortest distance to run him down is straight line. Right? So a straight line release means at him. I'm running in his technique. Now, if you've ever coached secondary before, and you're teaching man to man, what do you tell the guy? Maintain what? Cushion, but maintain inside technique. Right? So now, you are running, I'm the corner, and you're running at me. And you're running at my technique. So where am I backpedaling? I'm backpedaling at an angle right here. Okay? How much cushion can I keep backpedaling this way as opposed to backpedaling this way? I can't cover as much ground. You just raise somebody running backwards and you having to go at an angle and them going straight. So what I have done now as a receiver, I've made this guy pedal inside. I have hopefully run him down. Okay? We use indicators. You're either burst and plant team or you're rollover team. We do both. We use routes, we'll run the technique. When we run the technique, we get straight on our indicator, our burst. What I mean by a burst, I've run at him, he's pedaling inside. Now I go right here, straight. Okay, he broke the cookie. And I had burst and lean. You know how when you see somebody really trying to go hard? What I say is tell them, guys, you got a pole attached from my head to your head. When I do this, what's your head going to do? It goes back. So we run all our routes, take that into consideration. So I've now run it, now I burst into you, and you rotate your hips, and I come right back out, come back to the quarterback on the curve. Okay? So now we've done that over and over and over to you. Now I'm running the technique, and I'm running down pretty good, sticking, try to get you to turn and spread more in there. Then I'm going straight right here. Just this time, I'm going right back. Quarterback, he's 5 steps, he popped up, ball. Run it down, stick, and off that stick in there, and I'm telling you, it's amazing what that'll do. That old corner, he's pedals inside, pedals in. You stick in there, watch his hip. You can't recover from that. Now he's turning, and you're in a chase, your mind. Now, I want to tell you something, we work on this.
That's sticking the indicator.
For the quarterback. I like indicators on post, takeoffs, on post corners, on corners. I want an indicator for the quarterback. That way we don't throw interceptions if we're throwing the ball on time, we don't get sacks. Then I'm running down, I'm stuck him, and now I'm straight. Right? And I'm running a straight line, and where I teach the quarterback to throw the ball, I don't tell him outside shoulder. What I teach the quarterback is to throw the ball over your head. And here's what I mean by that. If I'm running a straight line right now, if that ball just came over my head, where did it land? Perfect right here. You start telling people to throw to the outside shoulder, it becomes a wide throw, and you start taking the ball, and you got a guy running straight, and the ball ends up way out here, and you got people fading for it, the ball will land out of bounds. I don't want a quarterback to ever throw a takeoff that lands out of bounds. We don't want to overthrow. 100% of the balls overthrown are what? Incomplete, aren't they? Huh? 100%. So we try not to overthrow it. So we're throwing it over his head. But now if I've a little bit underthrown it, I got things we teach you receivers, stretch catches, high point drills, all these things. We've got a chance for completion. All right, so we've worked it and worked it. We do takeoff drills regularly as conditioners. We throw takeoff during practice. We run our receivers quite a bit. They work at it. Now, we get into this other part of this technique. That's the normal. Now, if I've run at this guy and he gives up his technique, pedal straight, I got to push, stick, and now you go through the same thing inside. See what I'm saying? The quarterback has to read that, and the receiver has to read that. So it takes work. I'm not going to kid you that it doesn't. Outside technique. Run this technique. Same thing. Stick him and go by him. If he gives up his technique, you're on the outside of it. So to take all scenarios and coach it and talk about it in meetings, and then take it on the field and put it on the field. And I'm going to tell you what, it's fun to complete those. And on the coach point, that I talk about air for one reason. It's the margin of error. The flat throw's got to be the perfect throw. The air has got a chance to be adjusted on. It's like I tell them guys all the time. Why do you think Cutcliffe and them lost the game back? You know why? The Indians had what? They had bows and arrows, and the Cowboys had guns. Well, the Indians were hiding behind rocks. What did the Cowboys do? Shoot those guns right at them, beam bouncing off rocks. Cowboys hiding behind wagons. Indians put a little air on their arrows, right over the wagon, right on top of their head. And that's the point. That's the one I use. How did the Indians kill the Cowboys? A little air on them. They remember that little story. And it gives you a chance to make a play on the ball. It gives you a chance to make a play on the ball. Stay with the same concept, because I've been talking about takeoff. Releases. This lets you play in NFL or not play in NFL. Guys that can get off. That corner's taught not to do what? Not to let you outside. The whole theory behind the whole thing was if I let you outside release, that safety can't cover you. Right? That's, you don't want to stretch too deep, people playing the whole field. So that's the theory. So we're going to try to use that against him. We're going to sprint off the football and landmark 1 yard outside. My whole deal is to make him move his feet and catch him moving his feet. Try to run him down, step on his toe, and at that time, if he's maintaining outside, you'll be by him so fast, whether you're using an arm over, whether you just give him a little shake, an arm over, whether you give him a little low shoulder rip through, work all the techniques and work it against the defense, just like an offensive lineman. Watch the defensive back's feet. An offensive lineman ever starts getting his feet close together or gets him in the crossover position, defensive lineman's got him, right? He's had. So defensive back, if you just let him comfortably have balance, he's got a good position, and you haven't really made him work, when you come back and you start getting high or you make him move too soon, he's going to bust you right in your chops, and you're not going to get off. And you got to work those drills to get those guys off. You got to make him work, and you got to step on his toes. And you got to be sudden and get by him. You got to use it, work it, and get off. If he gives it up, you get on that outside edge, you better rip and go by him, because they do have a problem now. He just lets you off down here, and that safety better be on his horse, or they do have a problem. I think getting a release is a critical thing. Anything we get into here on this,
On your takeoff, is he reading the quarterback just the burst of the wide out, or is he also reading the drop of the safety?
well, the corner you're talking about, or
Well, say if the corner comes up and it's going to play a bump and squat in the flat, the safety's got to cover the deep third.
talking about too deep?
Yeah.
When we do too deep, it's just what I said, he can't read this. You know, but he's going to get a release, and in too deep, he's reading the angle, the depth of the safety.
Now, on reading the angle of the depth, are you always going to throw it with air, or are you going to throw it just
That
in
throw,
slot?
the play I gave you is an air throw.
Okay.
And we have played, we're throwing the ball in the hole, and we're hitting. But that's a different play. That's not this play. And I want them to understand it's not this play, because this thing, we can't throw it over the top, and he's deep, and we got something else to take place to get higher percentage. See what I'm saying? And the corner's sinking, we got the back under, just going back to the play I put in tonight.
Now, when you are in difference of these two plays,
What I gave you was run action, rear takeoff.
yeah,
Which, if it's too deep, you know, it's still over the top. We're having to count on the fake. If it's too deep on the run action, you got to take off, and you got a crossing route, still based on the depth of him.
no, what I was talking about is that in the play where you want to hit the slot, you still use a 5-step drop type technique.
Shit, that's that play action tape. That's what we're getting ready to see on tape right here in a minute. Y'all want to look at that on tape? Oh, may take me a minute to search for it. Thing, you have to bear with me on this machine. I'm gonna get into tomorrow with drop, throwing drills. So if that was on that thing tonight, those of you that are coming back around, I'm gonna leave that out. I mean, I'm doing the best I can. And I will try to back to the old way. All right. All right. Now looking at the thing right here, we got a roll corner potentially. Could be playing games. Probably gonna go quarter halves is what it looks like. I apologize, I can't do anything about this yet. This thing is sitting like a table. Now, we may or may not get the linebackers. This is the guy that's coming hanging over. Here's the takeoff. Gotta get the release. He's gonna be running a clear post through there. Our tailback's gotta get out and over. Just kinda see it on the run. All right, there's the play fake. You see it disrupt the linebackers? Watch it from the end zone. Ball. There it is. You see, we got both these defenders. I apologize for being any way, but I'm having a difficult time. Same play from the tight end. And he can see, to me, he should have gone for the deep defender. You'll see it. Can't see it well. See the deep defender in the top portion right there? He's letting him run him down. He's got choices downfield right there. But he does feel them. Remember I talked about all those lines? Look at that. So he's pretty good about it. He knows their offense now. He sees the middle vacated. That's why he's going to take the shot at the post. Their defender makes a big play on the ball. He tries, this is a stick it throw. And I'm telling him to try to stick it because he can't leave it in there. That's just a pretty good defensive play. There's the deep defender, and there's the takeoff for a touchdown. And see, that, as you well know, that wasn't called to only be a takeoff. People in the stands look at this, and they say, we just call it a takeoff, but that's not necessarily true.
How many times you hit that? Take off.
Quite a few. Now you see him right there. See he's even. See the wide receiver. See all along that. You see what Corey did? If I can run it back without. Watch the wide receiver run at this defender. See, run a technique and then stick and go inside. Perfect. Right over his head, touchdown.
Letting the wideout read the safety on that, and the quarterback staying wideout.
The wideout's running the takeoff.
Yeah.
Remember what I talked about? And then the wideout's got, this is that first play I drew, the wide receiver just running the takeoff. Quarterback's the only one having to read anything from the standpoint of safety. Now they got a roll more over there. See how I told you they flatten out and hit this thing kind of quick? Back was the wrong way initially. But that gives you an idea.
Do we run that again, and you want your back turned up like that, then your back bring a defender, the number 3 route, that he...
Back never looked at the ball.
Back busted from the very get-go.
Yeah, okay.
Running back busted, sit right here.
He needs to stay flat, right?
Sure, he needs to be flat and not running the route. He blew the whole thing. See him go the wrong way to begin with? And then he got all discombobulated and did nothing. Back goes the wrong way here. Now, you're getting too cute. See the wide receiver? See, this is the wide receiver flattening himself out too much. I was talking about. You ever got too much freedom? And he gets too flat. If he goes at the angle we want him to go at, see right there, if he'll angle deep, for a running back bust. And the running back bust, flat defenders is the problem. Watch the tailback. Tailback needs to be coming out weak. He goes out the other way.
Of course, things like that never happened to us.
I tell you what, and that back's a great natural player too, doesn't make many mistakes. And here's the same play, fake weak. And right there, that's a force, big time out of the court. That's when I tell you about him getting too smart for his own good. That he made up his mind. You got to stick that thing. You can't be laying the ball up or laying the ball off. The one problem you have with this play is your running back coach got to work those tailbacks hard to get them out. They're threatening to come, but they don't. We get a sack. Now here's an example. See that underthrow? Give him a chance. See it from the end zone, I think. I wish I could run this back where you can see it and stop it where you can see it. See, not a very good throw, but at the same time, so it is a pretty good throw. Here's the sack. Now, I'll show you from the end zone. That's on the quarterback. See him look over there? He looked over there and then convinced himself that that guy wasn't coming. That was a blitz control. He was unblocked. That was the situation. We went in with them. We just counted him as unblocked. Have a car time, please? Do what now? One more time with that, please.
And once you see that, you're saying you have a hot call.
Yeah. See him look over there? You ought to be throwing right now to this receiver.
That receiver that you just right.
Right
That
there.
receiver right
Now, this is
there.
a backup quarterback and a backup receiver. If they're both on the same page, that's our start. I like to think he's got the ball right here and we got a big play.
He's supposed to stop or?
No, hit him on the run. Straight up on the stem that he's running. Try not to make it very hard.
And that's a side adjustment over.
That's right, all sides. Take a point, look, communicate that way.
So
So you can see right there, but
He's
just look.
wide open.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
will he eliminate the fake even, on this?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You see him look over there, and then you, he ain't gonna come, you know. We knew them, that team, that he would come. So this is a little different play. We don't get time to get in though. That's just like taking candy from a baby.
What's the depth of your running back?
7.5.
Okay. So even on the comeback, the running back shifted out, but that's how he did it.
Running back just run a little hookup right there. Charlie, a lot of times, he was the kind of kid, he never thought we were ever gonna run it to him. He was so this is not all good. This is everything. This is good, bad. Leave on that other play. I mean, this is the complete mixture. That's just throwaway there. Trying to get one-on-one, which we do. I guess it's about time. Guys, thanks for your attention, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'm gonna go home and go to bed.